Hi guys, Jesse, Desert Sands Mechanical. Wanted to talk to you today about the lockup kits by MM4X4. So these torque converter lockup kits are available for the Toyotas, for the Isuzus, Mazdas and the Mitsubishis. In Toyota, they come for the 200 series, the GDJ79, the Prados and the Hiluxes and Fortuners. So basically all of your 2.81 GD motors and the 200 series. Basically the way that the kits work is that they take over the control of the torque converter lockup kit, engaging the torque converter lockup more often. By engaging this, it means less slip, which results in better fuel consumption and lower transmission temperatures. One thing that some people don't expect is that it actually works really well for not only accelerating but decelerating. So anytime that you're coming down a hill decelerating, your torque converter is slipping, and this slipping is generating heat even going downhill. So where you think that, oh, well, once I get to the top of this hill, my transmission is going to get a bit of respite coming back down the other side, it's actually not the case a lot of the time. So what these kits do is they lock up the torque converter while you're climbing the hill, reducing the amount of slip, saving you fuel, saving you heating up the transmission, and then when you get to the top of the hill, you start decelerating. Again, locks up the torque converter, lets you use engine braking coming down the hill, and basically saves you on your brakes, saves you on your transmission temperatures, and saves you on your hip pocket with the fuel price. That's enough talking about it. Let's go out to the car and we'll show you how it works. With the MM4X4 kits, I can't talk for the other kits, but we recommend the MM4X4 lockup kit. They actually have a smart technology where it's listening to a lot of the parameters, they're called PIDs, via the OBD, and it's listening to things like what's the torque converter slip, what are the temperatures, and so that it can make sure that the conditions are right to be able to look after the torque converter lockup clutch, rather than just locking it up regardless of whether you're going to destroy your clutch. Anytime that it can safely engage the torque converter lockup, it's going to try and do that. We're basically going to go for a drive today. The temperature is outside 37 degrees. Our trans temp is at 48 degrees. Our torque converter is 49 degrees. And our lockup kit, I'm going to start out with it turned off because our transmission's cold, and I have had this for a little bit and I'm that confident in its ability and seeing that the results are so huge that we can start with a cold transmission unlocked, and I can tell you right now it's still going to get hotter than when we come back and we do this run again with a hot transmission. It will get it back down with the torque converter locked up. So it's pretty impressive what this thing can do. For this test, we are pulling a 301.7 excavator on a plant trailer. So replicating for all you tradies out there that'll be pulling machines like this, or it could be your camper, basically pulling a heavy load. We're going to do the test twice. We're going to do it run out, putting the car in cruise control as often as we can, and then we're going to come back to the starting point. We're going to do it again, and again we're going to be using cruise control as much as we can. The reason that we want to use cruise control is so that I can't have any effect on the results. It's just the car doing its thing. In drive is, you know, the results will be what they'll be. The lockup status is currently off. Now, one thing I will mention on the gang gauge is that the lockup status will say on off dependent on what the car wants to do. It's when the blue light is turned on and the lockup status says off that the torque converter lockup kit is actually taking over. So the car wouldn't have turned it on and the torque converter lockup kit is turning it on anyway. So we've been driving for about 5 minutes now. As you can see, trans temp's already hovering around that 100 degrees. Got cruise control set to 100. We set the fuel consumption at the start. Here we go, up to 108 degrees. 18.8 litres to 100 k's so far, but we'll see when we get to a certain point what it's sitting at. We're already hitting about the 110 mark. 110 is before you're doing damage. I think around about 120 degrees and above is where the oil starts to degrade. Alright, so we're going to pull up here. The transmission temps have been frequently over 100 degrees. The fuel consumption is currently at 18.4 litres to 100 k's. Basically, we're going to go back, start the test again and see if we can keep the transmission temps under the 110 degree mark and beat 18.4 litres to 100k. Okay, so we're back at the workshop. I'm going to do it again now with the torque converter kit turned on. So go do the exact same run again using cruise control and we'll see the difference. Now just take note that when we started this test last time, our starting transmission temperatures were about 45 degrees. Now this time we're taking off with torque converter temp of 90 degrees, trans temp of 83 degrees, okay? So we're starting off roughly double where we were last time. Anytime that you see the lockup status off, blue light here is turned on, that's your indicator that the lockup kit is actually overriding what the computer's saying and locking up the torque converter anyway. And that's where the difference comes from. Lockup status off and the blue light on, which means that it's taking over. Pulling up a hill, torque converter's locked up. I think last time this is where we first saw about 110 degrees, just hovering around 90, managing temperatures pretty well. Another thing that I didn't have to do last time was round up a truck. Still trans temps, only got to 95. You can see the trans temps have not touched 100 at any point through this whole test. Fuel consumption, last time it was about 18.4 litres to 100k, this time it's 16.5, so basically 2 litres to the 100 better off. Last time saw trans temps hitting 110 and frequently around 100, this time frequently around 94. Max we got was 96 and 97. Much better off this time with the trans kit. We've done this test a few times, to be honest. We've really made sure that these things are as good as thought they were, and they are. So the results really speak for themselves. As you saw in the video, we were basically 2 litres better off on fuel. Also, we're constantly getting over 100 degrees with the torque converter lockup kit turned off. The transmission temperatures got up to 110 degrees. A couple of times they're actually exceeding 110 degrees. While 110 degrees isn't damaging the oil yet, we were only pulling a small plant trailer with a mini digger on it, much more aerodynamic than a camper or a caravan. Once you load the camper and the caravan up with water and all of your accessories, you're easily pulling over 2 tonne. They're a great piece of kit, very smart in the way that they're done. They save you fuel, save you transmission temperatures, and yeah, thanks for watching the video. Hope this sheds some light on what these kits actually do and can help you in making a decision on whether or not it's suitable for your car. They're something that we definitely recommend. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, like, depending on what platform you're watching us on. If you're looking for an MM4x4 lockup kit, they're available on our website at shop.desertsandsmechanical.com, or you can drop in to store and grab one from us direct. Cheers.